Welcome to the ninth part of the demonic empire of the Chosokabe. Well, Chosokabe campaign. Whatever, I don't care. So, we finally apprehended that Metsuke, and we also apprehended a ninja who attempted to, slay one of the minions of the Demon Lord. Luckily for us, though, the Demon Lord is always watching over us, and he has prevented such a horrible thing from happening. And we also apprehended him, burned him at the stake, and proceeded onwards with all the other fun stuff we do. So, as you can see here, we're just gonna do whatever the hell we do. Let's see here. Trait gains. Vicious. My guy gets 1+ to cunning whenever he's apprehending somebody. That's pretty cool. Let's see here. Let's do some diplomacy. All the Matsuda. They're like my neighbors to the, north. Well, not to the north, but they're right next to Harima. So anyway, I'm gonna marry one of their princesses, and I'm also gonna get a military alliance out of the deal. So that way I know for sure they won't backstab me. Because I want some allies before Realm Divide hits, Because when Realm Divide does hit, that's gonna be a serious bitch. And Realm Divide is the reason I said diplomacy is a bunch of crap. Because in all honesty, people, once Realm Divide hits, everything you do is pointless. There's no reason to even be diplomatic. Because once Realm Divide hits, even your longest lasting allies will just give you the middle finger. Unless you make vassals after Realm Divide hits, and I repeat, only after Realm Divide hits. If you make vassals after Realm Divide hits, they will remain loyal to you. But, for the love of God, oh man, sorry. For the love of God, though, make sure you get a trade agreement with them, and you try to keep them happy, because the last thing you want is one of your vassals turning against you during Realm Divide, because if that happens, oh man, they will probably screw you up pretty badly. Shogunal Deputy, Delusions of Grandeur. Okay, so they want me to fuck up the Hatekeyama. Okay? But I'm not gonna do it, really. I mean, I could take advantage of this. Screw it, I will. Anyway. One sec. Anyway. So as you can see, we could take over Hatekeyama City right now, but I'm in the middle of war, and I want to make sure that I eliminate the best show before they can rebuild themselves up. So, I'm just gonna go take over the best show first. I still think it's kind of cool that the Shogun can actually declare Realm Divide on other clans, Like, oh, they're getting too strong, we better go to war with them. Anyway, the Hatekeyama, though, they aren't, really that powerful. I mean, let's see here, they have 5-6 provinces. I mean, from the looks of it, they ended up taking out the, what do you call them? Looks like they ended up taking out the clans in the Date area, except for the Date maybe, and what's the other clan, Mogami? Yeah, the Mogami. Because as you can tell, they have that nice little patch up there. And they also have those other provinces which are just scattered everywhere on the map, like the ones in Kawachi, the one in Ki, and then the one up in near the Ikoiki. I don't remember the name exactly, but you guys get the idea. Man. So the best show ran away, so I'm gonna attack his city and take it over. They ain't got much left to defend themselves, really. Peacefully occupy, and yeah, make everything a lot easier on ourselves, Man, you know what this reminds me of, though? It reminds me of that one time I, ended up getting out a spear, and then I shoved it in the soil, and I ended up climbing to the very top, and I stuck my stomach on the tip, and I ended up sliding down on it a bit, and I was like, oh crap, I'm dying, and then my blood started to drain out. And then all of a sudden, the Demon Lord appeared, and he was all like, what the fuck are you doing? I'm like, oh, nothing, bro. And he's like, oh, okay. And then he's like, here, you get a second chance, and he gave me like, you know, new abilities, and I came back to life, and I was like, oh, cool, thanks, bro. And he's like, yeah, no problem, just remember, worship me. And I'm like, okay, I will. So that's why I'm here making this commentary, in order to convert you all to worship the Demon Lord. Simple, ain't it? Yeah, I agree. Anyway, so let's see what we got here. We got, you know, the end turn phase. We got the Hatekeyama acting like badasses, and it looks like there's a huge Iko-Iki army actually heading for the Hatekeyama. And it's kind of funny if you think about it, because the Iko-Iki are listening to what the Shogun says. You know, and the Iko-Iki are pretty much those guys who sit in the corner of the room, and like whenever you ask them to do something, they just stick the middle finger up in the air at you and tell you to cough, you know. Because that's just how they are. I mean, you know, historically they were like these religious fanatics who believed in some form of Buddhism that was like, you know, I'm not exactly sure how their religion was, but I think it was some form of Buddhism. And basically they believed that the samurai class just wasn't needed. So basically their whole clan, or whatever you want to call it, you know, it's not really a clan. It was basically just a group of monks and peasants who were like, screw the samurai class, we don't need them, you know. So basically they were the, you know, communists of feudal Japan. Not really, but you guys get the idea. So, you know, we have to convert them to the religion of the Demon Lord. You know, that's gonna be hard, but we're still gonna do it. And yeah, you know, I'm just checking, because I wanna, you know, I'm kind of nervous, you know, I left Shikoku pretty much undefended, and I don't want to, like, end up having, you know, how you say it, like, some fleet landing on my homeland and just, like, bulldozing through that entire area, because that would suck, you know, and chances are that did happen, there'd be no way I could build up an army in time to fight off. I'd have to pull one of my armies from the mainland and quickly drag it back to Shikoku if that happened. And if that happened, I would probably be a lot weaker on the mainland, and one of my enemies on the mainland would be all like, LOL, he left his cities undefended, guys. So they just come up and, like, you know, bulldoze through my empire, and I'd be pretty pissed off, you know. Anyway, I'm just gonna stick some troops on this ship here. Even though I just went through that whole rant, you know, I don't really care. I'm gonna declare war on the Hatekeyama, and I'm gonna take ki from them, gain myself a nice little bonus, and, you know, all that fun stuff. But from the looks of it, that Iko-Iki army is gonna get the ki before I do, and that's gonna suck, I guess. Oh, sorry about that again. I'm really sorry about the coughing. That really sucks. Oh, and the Iko-Iki hate my guts too. Yeah, that's a really good part. Then again, I guess that's how they feel naturally towards somebody who worships demons. I mean, look at them. They're religious fanatics, you know. So, you know, let's go march into this Besho city here. And I believe this is the last Besho city. I could be wrong. There might be one more, but we're gonna take it anyway. They don't even have it well defended, really. And so, you know, auto-resolve, decisive victory. We took over this city from them. You know. We're gonna peacefully occupy. I really wish we had an exterminate town button. Well, there is the loot button, but, you know, it kinda does the exact opposite of what exterminate did. Instead of, like, killing people to ensure order, loot basically makes everybody hate your fucking guts, and you get money from it, you know, so it's kinda pointless. Well, it's not really pointless. I mean, like, if you take a really high value target like Kyoto, and you loot it, you get like 10,000 gold, but in the long run, you need to hold Kyoto, so, you know, making rebellions in that city ain't exactly a great idea, especially since chances are if you took Kyoto, you're in the middle of Realm Divide, or you're like really close, because if you took Kyoto and you managed to hold it for the full 4 turns, I think Realm Divide automatically starts, but I'm not exactly 100% sure, because usually when I take Kyoto, it's during Realm Divide, or like, it's the last city I need to take before Realm Divide gets triggered, so yeah. So as you can see here, the Iko-Iki are attacking Ki, and my army is close enough to assist them, so I'm just gonna say fuck it, and I'm gonna attack and help them just to say I was there, you know? But unfortunately, the Shogun doesn't watch that crap, so, you know, fuck him. And I'm gonna have to end up, you know, cutting off his head, putting his head on a pike, and then, you know, having people dance around it as they worship my demon lord. You know, simple as that, people. It's that simple, it's that effective, and it makes perfect sense if you don't think about it, because you're probably wondering in your head right now, but why? And I'm like, yeah, you don't understand it. And that's why you will never understand it, because it requires a vast mind, a powerful intellect, and a lot of bloodthirsty psychos who have no idea what I'm talking about. So, you know. Yeah, I like pie. You like pie? I agree. Pie is good. I still feel weird kind of talking to myself in this room, though. I mean, like, you know, when you're commentating, like, I'm in this room by myself, and, you know, I'm, like, talking to myself, and, like, my parents or my, like, sister or something is probably listening in here all like, what the hell is he doing? You know, like, why the fuck is my bro talking to myself? Talking to himself, I mean, you know. That's just weird, but, you know, I don't care. I enjoy this. In fact, you want to hear something? I praise Satan! Yeah, I just yelled, I praise Satan. Well, I don't really worship Satan, I worship another demon lord who only goes by the name of the demon lord. Because, you know, he doesn't really have a name. It's just, you know, he appears to me and he tells me what to do. So that's why I'm killing people. Simple enough, ain't it? So as you can see here, we have the Iko-Iki, the Hatekeyama, the Ashikaga Shogunate, you know. The Ashikaga like us, actually. And I find it kind of weird, even though you have a very friendly relation with the Ashikaga, you know, they still, like, declare realm divide on you and they try to, like, kill your ass, you know. I find that a little weird. But maybe that's just me or something, I don't know. I also think, like, I said it earlier in one of my other videos, I know I did for sure. But I think it would be cool if, like, you got a diplomacy bonus for marrying one of your princesses to the Ashikaga Shogunate, and that princess ended up having, like, a kid, you know. That should give you some diplomacy bonus, you know, like, let me think here, like, you know, I mean, that'd be a pretty huge fucking thing if, like, one of your princesses ended up giving birth to the heir of the Shogunate, you know, that'd be pretty huge, you know. I also understand this game's total war, you know, in the name, obviously, it's all about warfare, but I would actually like other ways of being able to take over people, you know, like, I mean, they kind of delved into it a little bit in this game, like, you know, with religion and all, like, you can cause unrest and stuff, but that's really only amongst, like, the Iko-Iki, because the Iko-Iki have that one ability where, like, their incite rebellions actually creates a little rebel army, and if that rebel army takes over the city, it basically becomes part of your empire. But I would really like to see other ways of being able to take over cities, you know, like maybe, I don't know, economically, like buying land from people, or maybe, you know, like some crazy ass way of putting a heir on the throne of another nation, or, you know, sabotaging like elections. Well, they don't have elections, I think, but you get the idea. Something crazy that could result in a, like, espionage or peaceful way of taking over a city. Maybe converting people to your religion, you know, like they already did in this, but it only works for Iko-Iki, really. Because everybody else just creates a rebel army, and the rebels take over, and they just do whatever the hell they do, you know. And that's kind of stupid, but in all honesty, it's kind of cool. But at the same time, it is kind of pointless, because, you know, you don't end up going to war with the people you did it to, but at the same time, you have to fight an even bigger army. I mean, like, one sec. Like, you know, usually the towns you manage to get rebelling are basically these towns that have, like, absolutely no defense to them, you know? It's like just a city with, like, a samurai retainer in it. I mean, like, that's the only defense, you know? And when the rebels take over, you end up getting, like, this half stack, or, like, you know, somewhere between there, like, in the city, and it's kind of counterproductive, you know? I mean, you don't end up going to war with them, but, like, why would I attack a city with a half stack when I could have just attacked it with that one little samurai retainer defending? I mean, of course you don't go to war with them, but, you know, in the end, if they have a city with only like a samurai retainer, chances are they only have one major army and they're pretty weak, so, you know, whatever. I don't care. You know. Yeah, you know. Maybe a clan influence. I mean, you know, I'm sure the people wouldn't follow an asshole. You know, I'm pretty sure they'd run off to the nearest town all like, oh, he's honorable, or, you know, he's such a great guy, he doesn't fucking execute his people at the stake, or, you know, something crazy like that. You know, that'd be kind of cool. But that's just my personal opinion and what I think would make the game better. So, yeah. And, yeah. Anyway, let's end our turn here. Continue on. Man, I pretty much just ran out of ideas to talk about right now. Oh well. Let's see here, Iko-Iki. Yeah, the Iko-Iki are growing way too big. I'm surprised the Shogun hasn't declared realm divide on them. I mean, like, look at that nice bit of land they have. They just took out all the Hatekeyama areas and around them and whatnot anyway. We just got sabotaged by an enemy ninja. We'll be sure to get him sooner or later. Mission failed, oh well. Anyway, this part's almost over. I will see you guys next time. Thank you for watching. I hope you like, subscribe, and tune in next time.